Hi, Missy K here on the Book Fix. Today my review is of The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. And he's actually a well-known and well-respected comics artist but this is his first novel, which is what I call novels that are written just in words as opposed to graphic novels. So, anyway, um, this book is amazing. It came with all kinds of recommendations, and I had heard good buzz about it, and you can believe the hype. This book is about a fairly near future story, and it is a story that has some themes that are familiar to many readers, but it approaches them from a new way. I don't really want to say what the thing is because I think it's a lot better if you just kind of read it and find out. But there's been a huge breakdown, an outbreak in the population, and there aren't that many people left. And there are these kids that are in this school, but it's kind of a prison, and you're trying to figure out what it is that is wrong with them, why soldiers have to bring them to class. And yeah, it's crazy, it's heartbreaking, it's gross, it's scary, it's kind of realistic, actually, in a lot of ways, and it's 100% emotionally true. And that's one of the things that I really love about books that are speculative fiction, because I think that, by looking at things in a new way, in a new light, with unrealistic or at least hypothetical situations, that is a way that you can examine human nature and the situations such that it can actually be more true than a realistic story to me. Because I feel like with a realistic story you have to stay in those parameters, but when you can create an extreme situation, you can make these truths more about people and about humans, about what it means to be human, about how they're going to react. You can make it more obvious and more real, but it doesn't sound preachy because you're in this crazy situation. So that's why I often tend to gravitate towards the speculative books, fantasy and sci-fi, because I feel like those it's actually more true in that way. Also, it's just fun. So anyway, this book, and it's beautifully written. It's just most of the chapters are from the point of view of this young girl, Melanie, and she's one of the kids in this prison school, and she is sheltered because she's in this prison school, but she's also a genius, and so it's really interesting. But she's also, she's still a kid, so emotionally she's still a kid, and it's just amazing to see everything through her eyes and to understand things as she understands them. And I can't recommend this book enough. Be ready to be frightened and also just really sad but hopeful. I would be remiss if I didn't mention some of the main characters as well. So there's Sergeant Parks, who runs the prison school, and at first you hate him, and then you start to realize that he has sides, maybe. He's very complex. And then there's Miss Justino, who's one of the teachers at the school, and she is great because she's just trying to do the job as best she can, and she does care about the kids. I mean, that's why she's a teacher, right? So she's fighting for the rights of these kids, but she also understands why they're in this prison, and it's hard to talk about. But anyway, she's a really interesting character as well, and she's really great. And Melanie just loves her. She worships her in that way that you do when there's an adult that just treats you really well as you're a small kid when you're a small kid. And yeah, there's also a doctor that you mostly just hate, but you also kind of understand a little bit. Everyone's just very well rounded, and it's it's just a very beautiful book, and I can't recommend it enough.